Hi guys, I hope that you're safe and well. I'm just coming on to do this week's Facebook card reveals for you all. So I was working with the really cool Halloween Oracle this week. For those that have been asking, what deck is it? It's a beautiful deck, this one. Really, really lovely. So as we're going into the first card, card one, we're going into the energy of synergy and healing with the cauldron. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that too well. You can see my little cauldron behind me. So for me, this is healing. You might be at a stage in your life at the moment where actually you just need to stop, you just need to breathe, you just need to sort of regain focus by giving yourself that sort of healing energy. And this is also with synergy. To me, this is like mass healing as well. So if you know that there are people around you that have maybe been trying to sort of maybe shit stir or stir the cauldron a little bit in a negative way, this is about not sort of getting called up or pulled into those lesser cycles, those lesser energies. This is a really, really important time to feed back into the soul. This is a really, really important time to do personal healing for you and collective healing to the wider energies around you. I think it's also really important to remember with this card that, you know, energy only affects us if we buy into something. So we might see a behavior, but it doesn't have to mean that's going to sort of take hold, that's going to become our way forward. It's being brave enough to witness something, but to actually think, do you know what? I'm worth more than that experience. So I'm going to move you to one side and I'm carrying on doing my thing. So it might just be at the moment, some of you are feeling a little bit fragile, a little bit vulnerable. As the veil continues to thin between the two worlds, for some of us that are sensitive, we can really feel this quite intently. So it's an interesting time. So some of you are just maybe feeling quite extra sensitive or feeling the need for that little bit of extra self-care, that little bit of extra TLC. And if you're witnessing behaviors going on, because I do feel as I'm drawn to sort of, you know, the stick in the cauldron or the spoon, I feel like there's just a little bit of stirring of stuff, and it's just witnessing it but moving beyond it. Don't get pulled into it, you know, because like people can sort of gauge for a response or a reaction, but it only matters if we give away our power, if we buy into that lesser experience. So if you see something going on, if you sort of see a bit of a cockwomble somewhere, just sort of like roll your eyes and think, yeah, you crack on, I'll keep doing my thing. That's in a nutshell. It's probably not a very dignified message, but that's what I actually feel with this card a little bit, you know? So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. My hair's looking really windswept, but what it is I went into the field earlier with Oscar and it's been really windy today and it's gone all like bushy looking because all the wax I had in my hair, I think, has come out. Sorry, this is me just being a bit vain. I've just noticed in that video, it just looks a bit, random. It almost looks like I'm a bit grey. Getting a bit old, I think, guys. Okay, as we're going into the second card, we're going into Jack-o'-lantern and we're going into the card of protection. So traditionally then, in olden times, Jack-o'-lanterns were used to sort of light the pathway for the energy of light to transcend through darker experiences. Sometimes they were also used to ward off evil spirits or evil entities. So protection, this is an interesting one. So if you've been feeling quite vulnerable, if you've been feeling quite sensitive to energy, maybe you've had sort of people around you try to sort of take advantage of your good nature or try to really impose their own energy onto you, it's putting your own spiritual protection in place, whatever works for you. It might be that some of you have an amulet for protection. It might be that some of you do a physical ritual that encases you in a cloak, a ball, a bubble of protective energy. Maybe some of you have other sort of things that you sort of focus on. But this to me is about safeguarding. And I think this is about safeguarding in a sort of practical, sort of everyday to day way, as well as in a spiritual way. So it's not just spiritually, it's practically. So if you know that you're around somebody that's giving you loads of this or trying to suppress or limitate you, again, a bit like with the first card, send them love, send them healing. Try not to actually react or, you know, get too caught up in it, because then we're giving away our power again. And the whole point with protection is to stay within your power. So like the lamp of the jack-o'-lantern, stay within your light of truth. Don't give people the satisfaction of you almost sacrificing or surrendering your being, your soul to them, because otherwise they've won, haven't they? You know, sometimes the loudest words we can say are that of silence, and sometimes that does so much more protection than feeling like we've got to go in all guns blazing or responsive to something. Sometimes the action of silence actually speaks the loudest. So that's what I actually feel a little bit with this card. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. And then as we're going into the final card, we're going into the energy of invisibility. And it just sort of says here, authenticity, staying authentic. Now, what I love with this card is this is like a silent victory. This is a silent success. You'll get people in this world that will want the limelight. They will want the outward recognition for stuff. But then you'll get other people that just beaver away in the background. They'll work quite quietly behind the scenes. They'll maybe want to stay quite invisible, and there'll be a sort of internal celebration. There'll be an internal sort of merit or reward. And I think what's really, really important with this is when we sort of get to that space of complete authentic power and magic, it doesn't matter what Tom, Dick or Harry says about us. You know, the work speaks for itself. This is why I always say with people, you know, it's lovely when people leave reviews for me. This is an example. That's quite nice. But I also get a lot of private messages where people are thanking me for the sort of reassurance or whatever has been delivered, for either from spirit or from the cards. And that's actually really, really lovely. And it's almost like a silent or a more discreet celebration, but it's lovely. And for me, the contract is always with the client. So I don't care if my name is in lights or if it was all done behind the scenes. I'm not bothered. Do you know what I mean? And that's really what being truly authentic is about. It's not needing to be seen by thousands of people. You just do your thing, you do it to the best of your abilities, and it doesn't matter if you're beavering away quietly in the background. The right people will celebrate, the right people will notice your energy, and you don't necessarily need to have a massive show around you. It's that whole sort of feeling of a very sort of independent power and magic. So the card of invisibility is actually quite interesting when it shows. So this is a really important time for you guys to celebrate your personal victories, your personal successes, staying in that vibration of authentic energy. The outward world doesn't necessarily need to know or doesn't need to see your complete business necessarily. You know what you've done, you know what you've brought to the table, and that's good enough. So an interesting one, that one. So I'm going to leave these cards with you. I hope they resonate. I hope they make a little bit of sense. Just a reminder, this Saturday I will be in Wincanton, 10 o'clock till 4 o'clock, doing Amy Michelle's fabulous spiritual fair. I still have a few spaces for bookings, for face-to-face readings, if you'd like to come and see me there. I'm also in Avebury on Sunday. That is fully booked. Tickets are still on sale for mine and Deb's Ty Duck's Halloween demonstration of mediumship, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. And that's happening at the Bath Mill Lodge retreat in Bath, obviously. So tickets are still available there. A really, really lovely, beautiful setting, but very paranormal, very active. So can't wait. So some really, really exciting things coming up in the pipeline. So I will leave it with you. Stay safe, stay well, stay fabulous, and I will catch up with some of you lovelies either on Zoom or on Facebook or at Wincanton or Avebury at the weekend. Love and blessings. Bye for now.